What we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to use ScreenCastify, which we are going to be using to deliver these stories back to the second graders. I mentioned before that we need to read these stories back to the kids that you've created or that you've adapted because they're not going to have familiarity with the language and so on. So this will make it a lot easier for them to be able to access your stories without you there and not to solely rely on Miss Monson to handle all of your stories for the kids. In order to get started with that, though, you're going to need to create a PowerPoint which accompanies your story. I'm going to be using a PowerPoint today, Google Slides presentation, which you can also use as well. And it works really well. So make sure that before you start this task that you have your PowerPoint ready to go, which accompanies your story. And it should also include the title of the story, the originator of the story, and you listed as the adapter as a title slide for your presentation. After that, you can then draw pictures, take pictures of those pictures and put them in your presentation, or you can go out and find some images on Google Images. Just make sure you cite them appropriately so you're not stealing other people's intellectual property. And so with that, let's get started on how to get ScreenCastify on your machine so that you're able to use it. And there's the title slide that I created for this, which is also part of my daily presentation that you can access from my website if you'd like to go through this a lot slower next time. First, click on the three dots in the upper right-hand corner, which brings down this menu. Go to More Tools, and then go to Extensions. Scroll down to the bottom of your extensions list, and click Get More Extensions, which is in the bottom left-hand corner. The Chrome Web Store will then pop up. In the search window, type in ScreenCastify and hit Return. Then ScreenCastify will end up as the top selection. Click on Add to Chrome, and then this window will pop up saying Add ScreenCastify Screen Video Recorder as an extension. Then click Add Extension. Then it's going to ask you to sign in. Go ahead and sign in with Google with your school account. It shouldn't be any problem. Then set the permissions. Say that it's okay to use the camera, microphone, and drawing and annotation tools, which you won't need the drawing and annotation tools for your presentation. I don't imagine you would anyway. I'm using it just to show you the mouse movement that I'm using. And after you do that, it's going to ask you in a new window to just change the settings on your Chromebook itself. Click Allow. Then you should be all set. To record, in the upper right-hand corner, you should see a black box with some dots around the outside. That is your ScreenCastify icon. Click that, and then it will ask you to record. You want to embed the webcam. I embedded it in the bottom left-hand corner because that's not a very important part of the screen. It really focuses the eye towards the presentation itself, not towards my face. And so a lot of you are going to want that because you don't want to necessarily be the focus of the video. But it's still important for the student to be able to see your face. So please have the embedded webcam selected. Then go ahead and record your desktop. Then it's going to ask if you want to record the entire screen or the application window. Click the application window so it's just the PowerPoint itself instead of what you see in front of you now, which is a bunch of tabs, which again looks ugly. And then as you're recording, you'll see the ScreenCastify Live Preview pop up in the bottom right-hand corner, so you can then monitor yourself and where you're on camera and what's actually in the background behind you and so on. And then when you're all done, it will then save it to your Google Drive, to which you can then get a link. And all I'm going to need is the link. I'm going to put all the links in a spreadsheet or in a Google Doc and send those links on to Ms. Monson so she can see them. Okay? You might have to actually share the document or share the presentation on your Google Drive in order for it to work, but we can figure that out later. And that's it. enjoy this presentation. I hope it went well for you as it went for me. And cool beans.